I'm Graham Gold, now 9 months without the baseball hat, thus the shaved head, and that's who I am. Well, it's a school night, isn't it? That's the problem. We've all come out to play on the school night, but it's DJMag Awards, not because I write for them. I actually do think that out of all the magazines, because it's voted by the clubbers, I think it probably is the most important awards ceremony, and certainly that everyone kind of says, you know, that worries where they are. And I'm quite a keen supporter of DJMag anyway, and we come out to play really and have a good time. Yeah. What being? I don't. There are superstar DJs, but I don't like the term, because it means is that people put you on this pedestal, and at the end of the day, you know, we all have the same problems. You know, we all go through the same worries. I think at the end of the day, it's just about, you know, the punters pay your wages, not the owners or the promoters. So your job is to totally deliver. So they're the most important people, and that's, you know, that's who you should play to.
How did you first get into this industry? How did you turn up here?
God, I tell you, back in 1969, my brother was a bit of an electronics wizard and he was into rock steady and blue beat before that, and he built this amplifier that you could plug 2 decks into. And we had a black guy that lived over the road, a guy called Huntley Tiggle, and a sound system called the Duke. And he used to have all these blues opposite our house every Saturday night. And my brother was so into rock steady that he built this little preamp, and he used to take 2 decks, because before, in those days, it was one record, a toaster, another record, and then the sound would get on the mic. And it was like, so then there was a transition to reggae, and so his dad, Huntley's dad, used to bring 3s back, because he worked on the West Indian Airlines. One for Huntley, one for me. And everything in the reggae days was all based on like rhythms. A particular rhythm dominated the scene for 3 or 4 months. So I started mixing up the rhythm, but I had a love of music since I was like 8 years old. I bought my first record. 11-year-old, when I was 11, I swapped my first record. So it was all I ever wanted to do, but it was, yeah, playing reggae parties was how. Yeah, it did, because again, I'm 46, so I'm talking about 1954, 69, 70, never had clubs, but I saved up and I bought all my own mobile stuff, and we had a place called Byron Hotel in Greenford, which I think's been knocked down now, and a guy called Arthur Forrest motor, the parties were under the AFO organisation, and he had the Byron Hotel, but he had the White Hart South, or the White Hart Acton, and you got paid like £5 to go and like take your sound system, set it up, and it was almost a battle of the DJs and their sound systems. And I did my first one, mind the trick? I did my first one when I was 16.
I'm not taking the piss, but I mean, was it like weddings, parties?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, listen, I did these parties, but I also some bar mitzvahs to supplement, because I ran a Sunday night called Champers at the Railway Hotel in Greenford. I ran from 76 to 79, and we used to charge £1 to get in, and I had the door, and it was just funk and so it was, you know, it was everything on WMOT, Fantasy, Casablanca, Philly, plus people like War and that kind of stuff. But it was one night a week, so to supplement the income, you did weddings and bar mitzvahs, but at the end of the day, it taught you how to be a DJ, because it taught you how to work a room. Right, not I'm going to Plastic Fantastic, buying the 30 biggest records, practicing, oh, hey, I'm a DJ. So it taught, you know, there is a craft to what we do, and, you know, I think you have to learn it, because after that, I was resident of Gullers for 8 years, for 6 nights a week, playing 8 hours a night. I was the only DJ, and you learn, every step is a logical progression, and that's how I learned and it's a trade, and if you want to be a car mechanic, you go to college, don't you, and do a B-Tech. If you want to do sound engineering, you go to college to do a music tech course. So there's a course that it's an unwritten course that you have to do if you want to be a DJ. That's what I believe.
What have been some of the most special moments for you
in the last 10 years? Sorry, someone over there I know. The last 10 years, I think the very first beach that we launched in 1993 at Legends, because for 2 years before I'd done the breakfast show on Kiss, which was a show that I never wanted to do because I'd been resident at Gulliver's, which was the most prestigious back club, and I've always believed in pushing the music forward. And even in those days, in those pirate days, there was like CJ Carlos. He kind of ruled, but what he used to do was pick up on all the records that we, as underground DJs, if you like, spent 3 or 4 months breaking. Carlos would come on with his pirate show on a Sunday and play Alison Williams, Sleep Talker, and Barbara Mitchell, Never Knew a Love Like This Before. But we had spent 4 months playing those records to half the floor and taking the gamble. So when the breakfast show came on, when that went, Kiss approached me to say, we want you to do a night of legends. Now, because unbeknownst to some, I've never been this cheesy shit dickhead, and even though I did the breakfast show, I had another side to me. But when you do breakfast, you have to understand it's lowest cost. You have to play the most accessible music, and that's what I had to do. So all this new breed of journalists never knew that I had done every pirate in London 1982, had written for Blues and Soul, had done the Soul Show on Capital, had written for Root magazine. So I used to go to George's Night, Fresh, when it was at Legends, and be desperate to play there. There was all this music that I was playing, but I was Mr. really unhip and trendy. So Kiss said, we want you to launch this night, and I came up with the concept with the DJs, Darren Pearce, Craig DeMeck, Dave Lambert, with the name Peach. It was the opening night in Legends. I'd done 2 already, and I remember driving there thinking there's going to be 50 people in there. It was a full house that night. We had a full house every night for 2 years at Legends, playing proper house music, so that was special. I guess a special night was at BCM in Magaluf when Carl Cox played after me, and I got a 10-minute standing ovation after the set. And then I guess my birthdays, which I celebrate at Peach with 3,000 people singing happy birthday. And then this year playing Homelands for the first time in the Slinky tent, and actually bringing the music down from 140 banging trance to Sasha and Edison and to Sister Bliss, which were all new that week, and getting the crowd going mad, going, you don't have to play like that to get a reaction in a 7,000 venue. So they're kind of special.
Are you a people's DJ, Graham? Are you a real person?
Well, I think so, because I go clubbing. I still go clubbing. Even in 91, I would go to, my night off was a Sunday, so I go to a night called The Jungle at the Epping Forest Country Club, get top off my tits, right, every week, whatever, you know, and now I still go to Bedrock once a month, you know, unless Sirius book me a gig, but I normally, you know, they do know, never book me at the first Thursday, because I want to go and party and I want to be a clubber. And I also believe, because I'm old, right, I've been up and down 3 times in my career, that if I was young, my feet might have gone off the ground, but when you come down, you realise that actually no one's your friend at all, and then you realise actually I'm no different than a carpet fitter or a plasterer. So yeah, I am, because I have time to talk to everybody. How are you? Thanks for coming. And if you can't communicate like that, you shouldn't do this job.
We're at the top 100 DJ party now. Who are some of the biggest DJs